Okay, check, check, check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. We're gonna go back at it one more time. Make this content because you can't never give up. Uh, Lifer keeps it 99 plus 1. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Shout out to Crypto Bear Baker. Shout out to Dingo 8 Masatoshi. So break it down right now. This is what we're seeing for Bitcoin. Resistance, resistance, resistance. I talked about us getting above resistance. We got that. The 4-hour candle closed too as well, which is huge, 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 huge. Let's take a look at this flag. To me, we actually kind of make this a little tighter here and we bring this up. This flag is breaking to the upside. This says we can get all the way back up here probably to about, I don't know, 27,350, which is the top of the channel. I've been discussing ever since we got these bears trapped here on this wick that looks even bigger on the 4-hour time frame. Then they went after the leverage traders on just a low liquidity Saturday. That's exactly what they did. They brought it up. They brought it down on the, or yesterday, like I believe it was yesterday they brought it up. They brought it down. Went sideways all day. And then I talked about this ascending triangle possibly breaking to the upside. The measured move was the length of this pole. That could actually bring us even higher to kind of hit up with these resistance areas at 27,435. I like what we saw here on this falling wedge, though. Beautiful thing. And then we have a gap in the VRVP. We'll take a look at that in the 4-hour time frame. We have a gap in the VRVP here. We got above this point of control. And look at this area of just less liquidity. It says we're likely to get to 27,400. Now, of course, we have to break this previous high up here at about 27,451, and we got to break the high right there too. Like that's a double top, but we'll get there when we get there. Right now, the 4-hour candle closed above resistance, and there's a little wickage of a sell pressure down, but we can continue this move to the upside. Smaller time frames will predict the move, and right now the 15-minute wants to make a move with a bit of a double bottom there. You see that? And the 1-hour time frame showing signs of a bigger move to the upside. So both of these suggest that we can get a pump. The measured move would take us to 27,360. All right. What we don't want to see is we don't want Bitcoin breaking back below this little bar green zone that I created. We break back below this, we're going to be in some trouble. So that's something that we're looking for. Vivek Ramaswamy, yeah, and I just interviewed Vivek Ramaswamy in the back room of the press center. Unbelievable that I got the press coverage like that. They gave me a beautiful press pass. Shout out to my man Christopher Smith. He is the man when it comes to Bitcoin, man. I'm going to send you a little thank you letter and a little maybe an Amazon gift card. Really, really appreciate you doing that for me and, basically understanding how strong the movement is and pushing us forward. PEPE back down to 17.5, up 15%. Got a little bit of a pump today, though, and got people a little more interested back in the memes. We had a little bit of a meme movement today. Nothing too crazy here as we were talking, but look, Injective, which is interesting too. Hold up, Injective at $7. What? Let me see something here. I was talking about Injective breaking out of this bigger falling wedge, right? Which is in a giant cup and handle. This is the coin that I've been really focused on for possible gains. We were talking about here at 559, and it already pumped up to 748. What a nice $2 move off $5, a little under 44%, something like that. Let's take a look. And I gave this, I've been talking about this call ever since it was at the bottom of the channel, up 28% in about 5 or 6 days. You would have been privy to this information had you jumped on into the trading group. So these are just things that you would have known if you're in the trading group. People know that I accumulate wild on the low too. Wild in this giant cup and handle. And rounded bottoms pay the bills. Hanging out on this rounded bottom. Could we get a move for wild all the way back up to 76.34? And honestly, this channel is technical analysis, but it's also a freedom movement. It's here to expose the people that are trying to hold us down. It's here to expose people that don't care about you. It's here to expose the bourgeoisie, right? The bigger kind of conglomerates that don't care about the people. That's what it's all about here on this channel. That's what we strive for, and that's what we're going to continue to push for. So I love that we're here. I love that we're interviewing, presidential people and just having a blast. And, Tulsi Gabbard is one person I could have got. I didn't get this year. I was a little busy at the time, but she did speak, and I was able to see that. But look, previous resistance becomes new support. That's what's called support and resistance, everybody. This is just something that you want to know and understand. So we had this previous resistance. We bounced off previous support. We could make it all the way back up to 27,350 on the measured move. We're also attempting a breakout as we speak with a rounded stochastic there, and the 15-minute and the 1-hour, both showing some signs of life here. Again, we'd have to get above this point of control or this local high volume node at 27,100. That's going to be the kind of the leg that really can't, we don't want to see that break. We don't want to go back below this resistance. We broke up somewhere back in here. It's just another one of these up and down movements, and we're going to end up further to the downside. Remember, this is an ascending triangle. They're 50-50, and we grab the base of this area here to show you, well, if we break out, that's the length of the pole. that could take us all the way to 27,000, possibly 591, right? But if we break to the downside, you know, usually you just take the downside movement is just a little smaller. Usually we just take this move here, but that would probably coincide with this little node here and about 26,500, and we may even wick back down for a bigger double bottom. So I'm open-minded. I'm not a perma bear. I'm not a perma bull. I'm just showing you what's possible in the charts. Right now, the 15-minute is starting to break out. We saw this wedge. That's an SR flip. Nice place to possibly add to a trade. I like that SR flip. If I lose it, so be it. I like what's going on here. And remember, this insurance short would have gotten taken out, which is nice. Very, very minimal loss here if you did take the insurance short. I had an idea just in case. And then once it comes back down at retest, we can flip long right here. Had about an hour to 2 hours for that to play out. So can we get the move on the smaller time frame is the first question. This could be a little scalp to my leverage traders who are scalping. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do here should be taken as financial advice. I just want to make that very, very clear. All right. And hold on, let me get more of my head here in the action. Sorry about that, to cut my head off. Did not realize that that was what was the case. Shout out to you all here, and I'm in style right now. You know, still in my suit, right from the event, ready to go. Okay. Feeling fit as a fiddle. Nice to go. I've been working out, doing push-ups, still pushing forward, and having an absolute blast. That's all that happened. I restarted the computer, restarted the internet, reset, and we said a prayer. We also said a prayer to God, and look what happens. How fast that prayer got answered. 144 people, 28 likes. And I said to God, if you answered this prayer, and we had a beautiful live stream, I will praise your name. So in the name of God, may this stream keep moving. Thank you for giving me the energy to wake up every single day. Thank you for the energy to believe in myself and to believe in every one of you. Dear Lord, you're creating a movement with the lifers that's unprecedented. And I'm super excited to see where it goes. So God bless you all that are here. And that was the promise I made to God, that if he got the stream cooking, which he's doing, I would give him a big old shout out throughout the stream. So God, thank you for everything, man. You're my buddy. I love you. Keep my dad in your thoughts and prayers. Make sure that you forgive him for all his sins. And yeah, thank you so much for the love. So watching Bitcoin here in this falling wedge could break to the upside. We're looking at 27,254 for just a quick little scalp, possibly to the upside. And then the bigger time frame could get us really just to the top of the pattern. Once we get to the top of the pattern, we're going to see a bunch of sell off. There's a heavy resistance there. Breakout and a retest would be the key. But right now we're retesting this previous low. It's a really nice move for Bitcoin. Some could almost consider this a cup and handle, but it has so much wickage and just nasty price action inside of it. But again, this could have broken up or down, and so far we did break to the upside. We also talked about the 4 hour, if you remember watching my channel, and just nonchalantly we went over the idea here. We'll go BTC, USDT. We'll look at it on KuCoin to keep it clean. We'll get rid of the moving averages because I just want to show you exactly what I'm looking at. So this is, sorry, this is the bigger falling wedge. There was the bear trap, got back up. We're getting tighter and tighter in the wedge. When we align this, it suggests that we're going to come further to the upside. Also on the 4 hour, this is the symmetrical triangle, which I've been drawing and talking about. And I kept saying it's likely that we come and we touch the top of the triangle, right? Only a matter of time. And it's something like this. We're halfway there now. All right. Now, it has been a rocky road. We talked about it. But even on this wick, I kept suggesting because of this buy wick, it's very likely that Bitcoin will come to the top of the pattern and attempt to hit 27,310. I kept telling that to my lifers, kept telling that to everybody on the live stream. So one thing to think about. So shout out to everybody here on the live. Appreciate you all for being here. So look, here's our Bitcoin USDT on KuCoin here. Double bottom, and now we're riding the bottom of the channel. Remember, we talked about this wick. I didn't really have to show you the charts as we went over this because I've gone over the wick many, many times. You should be able to draw this wick and know what's going on your own. But here's the deal. Like, we talked about this wick. We rode this idea. We even gave you the diamond, remember, on the 15-minute time frame. Let's break that down too. Not many people gave you the diamond, right? We were able to draw you this diamond. I think it was last night or the day before. So much has been happening to me, and it does suggest if you come in from the bottom, from the top, you should move out of the top to the upside. That diamond so far has been performing as a diamond should. 68% chance that we were going to see a type of move like that. Now, here's the flag on the 5-minute chart, which probably could come back down or up, but it's looking pretty nice. The 15-minute also suggests that we might get a blast to the upside here. And this is the scalp I was just showing you on Binance USDT chart. We're looking at about 27,381, which is the place to be. All right. Shout out to everybody here on the live. Thank you for being here. Don't worry, you're behind me, but you'll see all the charts, man, and you'll be ready to go. Don't worry. Take a deep breath. You're going to make it. I'm going to figure it out probably as fast as humanly possible. I'm a sharp guy. I may make some mistakes, but don't worry. I'm going to keep you moving. 50 likes, impossible. Shout out to everybody here on the live. 127 people on the live stream. Let's get 127 likes. If I was watching you, you know I would hit the like button. I would never play you. Don't play me. It's a weird feeling. You know what I mean? I know you're out there. I know you care. I know you're a true lifer. So show me that love. Love is the frequency of this movement. Without love, we wouldn't be here. None of us would be here. Without my mother's love, I wouldn't have the confidence I have to push. So through love, we all really came together in this channel. And through love, we should stay together. So previous resistance becomes a new port of support. And so far, we're seeing that, which I'm really, 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 really excited about. So previous resistance, new support, getting the bounce. 27,380 is very, very possible. We go to the 1 hour time frame, and we're here near the bottom of the channel. I'd like to see us move further up to about 27,296. At that point, I would look to take profit on a quick short, on a short long trade, like a fast little trade, short long trade. But I should say on a less time consuming time. So right now the 1 hour does want to flip with the 50-minute and the 4 hour show. Still showing signs of life with momentum. MACD just getting across. This is a really good sign that we're going to see Bitcoin at least get to the top of the channel. And I mentioned this when I saw that wick to the downside there. I said that is price reversal wicking. When you see wicks like that, then they went after just whoever was longing or shorting on the Saturday morning, right? Went after them real quick, easy peasy, ripped it up, made them think to put their stop losses, went and grabbed them, and then got sideways. It was just something to do for the market makers to wreck that liquidity, and they got that liquidity. They did what they had to do. So again, 4 hour looks good to me, continuing to the upside. The daily looks interesting to me. It's not the worst, it's not the best, but it's sitting in some indecision. It could flip up at any moment in time. So the 4 hour still moving, the 1 hour still going, and so I'd be watching this flag on the 1 hour time frame. Possible idea here is just to play the flag the way the flag wants to be played. I'd go to the 5 minute time frame, wait for it to reset, look for a breakout and a retest of the top area, or just a retest back down to this solid area of 26,975. If it can hit that, that could be the beginning of a smaller trade here. So this is the trade we're looking at, possibly bottom of the channel, and then riding it here back to the top of the channel. Maybe a little wick out at 1.5%, and then let's see if we can make this a 3-to-1 risk-reward ratio. Stop loss would have to be somewhere back inside the pattern. You don't want to lose it right there, but that's it. I'd be looking at this possibly, but remember, it's low liquidity. It is a Saturday night, so just be careful. They could come down, rip it back to the upside. Again, I'm not a financial advisor. Nothing I say and do should be taken as financial advice, but just keep yourself privy to this information because you just never know. Where do we like to trade? We like to trade here on MEXC, right? I'm going to give you a link to MEXC if you'd like it. I do get a commission from my MEXC link, but hey, that's you're giving back to me the way I'm giving back to you. So together, you scratch my back and I scratch yours. So that's kind of the key, all right, is that if you're going to hook someone up, you might as well hook someone up that already hooked you up, right? And that's how I look at it. And that's what I love about affiliations through exchanges, trading, TradingView. If you use TradingView right now where I'm posting, like I'm using TradingView. This is what I use. So if you want to use TradingView as well, you might as well sign up with my link, throw me a kickback, an affiliate link commission. It's really, really nice. Also using BOOKMAP and loading BOOKMAP up, really going to show us where the liquidity is. We're going to attempt to go for BOOKMAP. That makes it very bold for me to do considering all the ups and downs we've had. But it shows to you that I'm just not afraid and I don't live in fear. I go for the gusto. I want to give you the information you need to push forward throughout the day. Sorry about my earliness. I know usually I'm on at 8 p.m. It's a lot funner when I'm live streaming at 8 p.m. and everyone's there and it's amazing. We'll be back in the regular studio. We'll be back to our regular streams not too long from now. And I'm excited to get there too. So let's take a look here. That's the one thing about being on the road. It's like, as much as I love being on the road, I love my home studio so much. It just helps me create even more. So they got some liquidity down at 26.8, which suggests that maybe where we go on the low on that 5. And then they got more liquidity up here at 27,500. So things to think about, kind of balancing act here. We go for the dip and then we rip up to 27.5. It's interesting to say, but that's a lot what corroborates my story. We come back down here. We get to 26,956. Maybe we wick down, scare people a little bit, come back up, grab some liquidity, and then move back to 27,388 and possibly to 27,500. So that's why I wouldn't get into this trade until the 5 minute does reset. Once the 5 minute resets down here in the stochastics, that is something that I'm looking for a tasty little bite possibly for Bitcoin. I don't like that Ledger isn't listing all 3 companies, and what happens is one of the companies goes under. Smooch a like for the Bitcoin conference weekend TA. Thank you so much. Great words. Thankful God is in your heart and soul. It shows. Hey, man, I appreciate you, Jana Borison. Yeah, I mean, it's funny. My wife even, she's super religious, and one day she's like, I don't know, I'm afraid to talk about God as much as you do. She's like, it's one thing that I've been working on. And I'm like, what do you mean? I just talk about God. She's like, yeah, but it's not as easy. And it's interesting. I find it, God's my best friend, and I have no problem. I don't care what people think about me. They judge me thinking it's in my head or whatever it is. There's a higher power out there, and ever since I connected to the higher power, my life has been absolutely amazing. So I would never denounce that. I would never go against that. The truth is the truth, and I've always followed the truth. So it is what it is. Let's take a look. So that's my Bitcoin idea. We'll take a little bit of a dip, and there's possibly a flag we could be playing to the upside. Remember, the previous resistance became new support. This is a beautiful, what's called an SR flip for Bitcoin. So we got the pump, like it says there. Is this sustainable, right? Can we continue to pump? Shout out to the 245 people on the live, 89 likes. Let's get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. Love you, Sammy. Thank you. What about Binance FUDs? I don't read Binance FUDs. I really don't care. I don't get into FUD. FUD's just not my thing. All right. Yeah. That means it's a fake fear and, uncertainty and death. It's doubt, but I call it death because it's like the death of you when you get full of fear. We'll find out what happens when it happens, and we'll be able to pivot. Previous resistance, we got above, we got the bounce. That's an SR flip on the resistance line. As long as we stay out of this and don't get further down, we're likely to head to the top of the pattern here, somewhere at 27,350. And that's kind of Bitcoin in a bit of a nutshell. Not much else to talk about Bitcoin. We talked about the total market cap a bunch of times too as well. Remember that? And we talked about this big channel that we were in. Let's break this down. Remember, we were in this channel, down, up, down, and we're in this falling wedge that it does want to push up. It looks pretty tasty on the 4-hour time frame. We'll scroll over to the 2-day chart, and the daily chart's ready to go. The 2-day and the 3-day chart, it all looks like things are coming to fruition on the stochastics RSI. Here's a falling wedge. Falling wedges break up 68% of the time, and previous resistance here, resistance, bounce, becomes the new support. And so far, we're holding the support zone, and if Bitcoin gets a bigger move, right, boom. Also, if one other bank has some issue, if we get into some more financial issues, the debt ceiling, there's a chance that correlated assets go down, but Bitcoin and risk on assets could actually be pretty sweet. Something to look at. So that's key. That's interesting. Yeah, but huge today. I got to interview VIVEK Ramaswamy, and if people don't know who he is, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a background. I don't know if I got his name right. We'll see. I probably did. I hope I did. We'll see. See if my internet works, right? But VIVEK Ramaswamy, right? And we'll take a little look at what he's doing and who he is. He's younger than me, number one. He's 2 years. I'm born in 1983. He's 2 years younger than me. He's an American entrepreneur and politician. He's a candidate in the 2020 Republican presidential primaries. Ramaswamy founded the biopharmaceutical company Roivant Sciences in 2014 after working at an investment partner. Since 2020, he has written and spoken out against stakeholder capitalism, big tech censorship, and critical race theory. After leaving Roivant in 21, he co-founded and is the executive chairman of Strive Asset Management, an investment firm opposed to the environment, social, and governance framework. So he's been kind of going against the grain there, which is interesting. He was born in 1985 in Cincinnati, and he was raised there. His parents immigrated from Vandicherry, Pakaland, Kerala, India. His father graduated from the Regional Engineering College in Kerala. He worked for General Electric as an engineer and patent attorney, while his mother graduated from Mayorsi Medical College and worked as a geriatric psychiatrist. Wow. As old people get old, they have a lot to talk about. So Ramaswamy graduated in tutoring from St. Xavier High School in Cincinnati. He was class Victorian and had been nationally ranked junior tennis player. He graduated from Harvard with Bachelor of Arts in Biology and membership in wow. And he made like a lot of money. Stories raising $360 million for Roivant subsidy accident sciences in an attempt to save Alzheimer's drug that had failed by GlaxoSmithKline. The drug also failed at Axio and had a market value of $260 million. He co-founded Chapter Medicare. So he's into medic and science a little bit. Some people say he has a very high net worth. He's made a lot of money, right? And there's VIVEK 2024. Funny, they should put his picture up now from when he was just talking. But that's who I just interviewed. I was able to interview him, talk to him. I also told him I was going to run for president. I wasn't shy about that. In the blockchain party, I said, if he's down, I said, are you down with the blockchain party? Let me know. He said, something he was definitely looking at. Shout out to the 145 people on the live, 105 likes. Maybe get the likes up to the watchers. I would greatly appreciate it. So, and again, I'm not aligned with his views. I want to make that very clear. I'm just bringing you the information that you might not get anywhere else. I'm just kind of bringing you boots on the ground, right? I read his book, Woke Inc. It was funny. Brahman is a Vama, as well as a caste Hindu society. In the Vedic and post-Vedic subcontinent, Brahmins were designed as the priestly class, serving as priests and spiritual leaders. Vivek is Brahmin. Shout out to Evan Book, man. Thank you. Go read an Evan Book if you want to know what he's talking about, and you will. So total market cap says we can get all the way back up here to $1.37 trillion and get that move. We are defying the shoulder, shoulder, head, shoulder, shoulder. And can we get back above this resistance, though? You can see how this is a resistance, kind of bear flaggy, but they may drop it, bring it back up. For now, we're holding this trend line, and it looks more bullish. The probability is that we will break to the upside. So that's one thing to think about. CFX was on my radar because they're going to start, opening up trading to Hong Kong in June. And I just believe that the coins that were previously getting a little hot are going to start to kind of begin to move yet again. So CFX is up nicely so far, a little bit here, and it's at the top of this channel. I'd like to see it break out and continue to push to the upside. CFX, it could come down first, but I like where it's at. It was at the 618, 706 golden pocket, really, and then it got a move, and it has hidden bullish divergence on even like a bigger time frame, like I believe the daily. So when we move, we move to the daily here, and you see it swing up, that's a big interview. He's on Fox News a lot. You should be in line with his politics. He is right. No, there's a bunch of things I like. I just don't ever say I'm one thing. You know what I mean? I got my own blockchain party coming down the line, so which tweaks a bit of what he says and also has some ideas too. And I even said, hey, maybe we could run together. I would be your VP. I said Price Ramaswamy. You know what I mean? Price goes down a little easier too as well. All right. Shout out to the 93 people here on the live. Thank you for jumping in. 124 likes. I guess we're losing people. I don't know why. I guess because we had a bit of a drop frame and the people are like, no. Why did we lose so many people? 100 people out of nowhere? Is there another live stream that I'm like missing right now? You never know. Here I am. Let's go. Shout out to Anthony C. Evan Book. Man, you're the man, dude. Vivek is amazing. Great ideas. Smooch the like for the Bitcoin conference and the weekend TA. Thank you very much for that. I appreciate that. Vivek's campaign slogan should be rendezvous with Rama. That's so funny. Right? Shout out to the 111 people on the live, 129 likes. Let's get those likes up to the watchers. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. It's not about the impromptu time when I'm normally not live now. Everyone's going to wake up at 8 and be like, wait, but they're going to be able to replay the idea that I went over and see what I'm talking about. Okay? And see exactly what I'm talking about. Let's take a look at Pepe. As it had a bit of a pump earlier this morning. Did it give it back? Did it hold it down? What happened with the Pepe star? So it got a pump, but it got wicked back down to the downside. But it's still not the worst thing in the world. On the daily time frame, it's getting oversold, which is even hard to commit to. But the 22-hour suggests that a big move is coming. So we delete this. We move this up here. We move this up here a little bit. And we show that this is starting to try to break out. Attempting. You could even say it broke out there and then it went a little sideways. That makes more sense to me. I'm looking for it to get back above that 220,891 area, 21,000, and then get a SR flip to the upside. We do still have a resistance there. So I think I don't like this. I don't like the long resistance. Like it would have been nice to long that support and see where you're at with the stop loss on the other side. Now that I'm not in, I still hold the long-term position, but we're watching this here. It spiked all the way to 19.6 and now it's back down to 17. Hope you're having fun on Miami. Can you look at GMM? We'll take a look at GMM, which I believe is Gamium, if I'm correct, right? On KuCoin, right? Let's take a look at Gamium on KuCoin. So it had a nice run up. If anyone was thinking of jumping on in, it had a nice little run up. Let's take a look here. So it had that cup and handle. We brought the Fibonacci, and it went all the way to the 886. Usually, you're either going to go to 0 or you're going to bounce off the 886, okay? So some would say this has got some cup and handle vibes. Like they would be like, well, it's got some feels for a cup and handle. And then there's your handle as it breaks to the upside. So there's a chance this thing could do some damage, but, there's no guarantees, right? And the measured move would take you back into the wick area, somewhere about 0.0042, right? It's not even half a penny yet. So this thing, if it goes to 3 or 4 or 5 cents, I mean, you're talking about a 10x right there. So definitely something to look at, but it's one of those coins that got really, really liquefied at the end. VCs or some smart money just took it to the downside. So we'll look here at the 4-hour time frame. And the 4-hour, yes, it definitely did break out. There's a chance that could continue to move. And it's based on probability. I know nothing but the fact of my own ignorance, neither do you. When you trade, you're not telling people you know what's happening. You're saying, hey, I don't know what's going to happen, but I'm just going to go with the probability of what could happen, what I've seen before in my life. So the more times you trade, the better off you can make that assumption based on data, right? And that's going to kind of add or subtract to your win record if you're using the proper type of data. Again, not a financial advisor. You can figure this stuff on your own, but these are just things that I figured out on my way up, trading, hanging out, making YouTube, and just, you know. So we're going to watch this flag here on the 4-hour time frame. Technically, I don't see it going any further until it can come and like interact with the 21-day moving average. And then to me, boom, we could get a move further up for Gamium. But it does have to get back above this resistance, this green line, and then retest that resistance. So I would wait for a pump and then that pullback pump and then see how low it can go when people are scared. And yeah, that's something I'm looking at for Gamium. I don't believe I'm going to trade that coin, though, to be dead honest. Can we look at Larry Lifer? Let's take a look at Larry, man. Thank you so much for the super chats. God bless you all for being here. And I'm happy we were able to push through and get another stream going right now. I'm getting starving, though. In a little while, I'm going to have to get run and eat. I didn't really get to eat much today. Been running around a lot. Happens on shoot days. I don't like to eat too much on shoot days when I'm attempting to get things ready, right? So here's Larry. Let's see. Is Larry on Ethereum? Uniswap wrapped ETH for Larry. Okay. And we'll grab the smart contract. We'll head on over to Dex Screener. And Dex Screener is just really going to be your go-to place when it comes to looking for a coin, finding out what's happening, staying in the loop for that coin specifically or whatever you're looking at. Can we look at Larry Lifer? Yes, sure, man. Anytime. Anytime. So you go to search here and you're going to paste in that contract address. It should find Larry for wrapped ETH, that's what we're really looking for. Wow, they're going to make it even better for me. Don't refresh. You also see the buys and sells here, and with this majority, when I look at it, it's pretty even Steven here for Larry. So what I liked about Larry is if we pull a Fibonacci from beginning to end, a lot of people think I'm being morbid, but Fibonacci's in everything. I just want to see it. I want to see it. Sometimes I'll look at a fib, and see what it compares to, the idea of just what I'm looking at, because you never know. Even someone who's not completely into the charts all the time, if the math aligns, the math aligns. So that's the first impulse. Back down. It came down to the 618 Fibonacci, like exactly, right? Wicked a little bit into the 706, 618, and then it bounced back to the upside. Larry's looking okay. It's looking okay. I'm going to get rid of the Fibonacci here, and then we're going to add RSI and stochastic RSI. And then, because I'm so good at them, I don't really need anything else to figure it out. So stochastics say that we could be going down. You see that? They're turning, which isn't the best sign. But we could be in this bigger channel where we're just still trying to find ourselves, and that could even still be a pretty big move to the downside. So I like the predicament of the trade. I like the idea of the trade. And I would wait for the 4-hour probably, right, to come on back down, or the 1 hour to come on back down and to scoop this double bottom if I can. That would be absolutely amazing with a nice guaranteed pump of like about 20 to 30%. Make the wife happy before you even, go to bed at night, right? So just something to think about, man. Wrapped ETH for Larry, all right? And I don't know, I'm a Bob guy. I'm not a Larry guy. I'm into Bob hard, right? Can we look at Larry Lifer? We did. Can we look at GFL, Sammy? Might be a big play, GFL. What are your thoughts on Ben? I hold some Ben. I don't really put too many thoughts into it. I believe, they'll get it name out there, and we should see some more Ben behavior, but you never know, right? But look at this. One person sold 20,000 USD, Larry. But then you got buys coming in right now at 701, 7,197. A lot of buys, just a lot of buys, right? So the buys, like when I scroll quickly and I look, the buys outnumber the reds for sure here on this Larry coin. Don't know much about it, but it is a meme that we've been watching closely. All right. Then you got the Ben token, which is going to end up on MEXC. It's only a matter of time. You know what I mean? So Ben USD on it is, or they already have it on MEXC. That's insane. I don't know how they work this fast and they already have Ben out there, but it's a penny, all right, which is crazy because it's like that's like almost like more than it was worth. But I don't think people care. They're just like, hey, I showed up when Ben was first coming out, and basically I was just like, all right, I mean, I'll put some money in. I put like $300. I didn't put a lot of money into the meme. So just so you know, again, I'm not a financial advisor. Don't do anything. Mr. Pepe, please, what are your thoughts? So, I mean, when we look at Ben could get tighter in this channel and then still continue to break out. All right. The 4 hour does want to break you down a little bit. Let's look at our bigger time frames. Not much else really to look at. 6 hours like the biggest time frame you can look, and it's looping back to the upside with a slight higher low. We don't want to see this make a shoulder, head, and a shoulder, though. Anything is possible. But yeah, I'm still trucking. I'm still in this trade. I haven't gotten out of it yet. So I still hold my Ben tokens. All right. One thing I'm also going to look at is BAM, because I hold some BAM. I'd like to disclose that I do hold some Bambi. And I don't, let's see what happened to Bambi. So Bambi got flattened, but rounded bottoms pay the bills, but it had a beautiful pump and it gave it all back. Still people getting into Bambi, $60, $200, not a lot though, here and there, just a little bit of a movement. And they could be making a bigger position and just buying small amounts. Again, that's just not my I don't know. It's not my forte. I'm a technical analyst and I'm not going to go through people's portfolios and tell them what to buy or sell. It's just not happening, right? It doesn't get me excited. It's not what I go for. It's not what I do. So there's Ben out there on the market. There's just all sorts of different coins at all different times. And just be careful, don't feel the need to have to be in a position. When you have to be in a position, you're going to open up positions no matter what. And there's going to be 2 or 3 out of those days where there's going to be just, obvious to anyone who really knows the sea and the ocean that it's just time to take a bit of a break. But that time, is only so long. So we'll see how that works out too. I used to think summer was so long until I got older. And then I went through a summer recently and I was like, man, this is not even, anyway. So, and that's something that I want to talk about is how fast time will go by. Time will go by faster than you ever realize, right? You're going to be back where you stand quicker than anyone ever really thought possible. So remember, I'll be back in the home studio for the weekly candle close. I'm watching this news crypto NWC. I thought it was pegged to the dollar or something like that, but it still looks like it could make a bit of a pop to the upside. And here's one of my favorite ideas. When I first started getting into it was Bolt. I don't own it anymore, but it had a few nice little pumps. It is retracing down, not amazing. And it's like pretty slim pickings here, even on KuCoin, which has all the gems. You can see like 13,000 DFNY, right? It's just a lot of these coins are kind of washed up from where they were on the lows. They got a little bit of a pump back, but is it time to start buying these coins? I don't know. I'm not going to tell anyone what to do, but I personally wouldn't be getting it. RLC, I'm pretty sure the last time I looked at this, it looked, like it was consolidating nicely in the zone. Yeah, I remember this here. So I just wanted to put this on your radar, spotlight it. Look at this consolidation. A lot of them have lost the consolidation. This one is still trucking pretty nicely. So I could see this one getting all the way up to the target too, possibly to about 317. Again, first take profit's going to be on these wick areas, right? When it first hits a wick or, so like price action, man, it wants to get to where those previous wicks are. It definitely looks like it wants to make a bit of a move, and it's a known coin, render, baby, render. XYO, we got DAS, we got so many beautiful coins here that nobody absolutely knows about. Acquire, right? Covalent, and I like this when they bleed these coins dry, because what happens is you get them prices that you never thought you were going to get before, and you get those prices, which is really, really nice. So as long as you're patient and you hang out in there, you'd be surprised how many things come your way, but you gotta be patient. And the average person just is not. They want it now, they want it now, they want it now. If they don't get it now, they just start complaining. It becomes a constant battle. It's just, So if you have patience and you believe in God, it'll be easier to get through these times when you're like, well, why does that more than me? Why is it? Don't worry what other people have. You have no idea where they are in life or what they're going through. So just remember that. Let's look at our baby AGIX before I jump on out of here. I want to look at AGIX and see what's going on. I think I made my room too cold. I'm getting like goosebumps even with the shirt on. So AGIX came to a low of about 22, if you can believe that. Bounced back up to 29, but this is definitely, in my mind, a place to accumulate. It definitely, look, resistance. This was an area we could not get back above, and we finally are getting it with the 21-day move kind of switching to the upside. Momentum indicators telling me that we're very low on momentum, though. And so that tells me that we're either going to go sideways or to the downside. So I would watch this sideways flag here that I'm building, wait for price action to interact with the 21-day moving average, and then bang. Like that's kind of, I find like a really smooth strategy that works for me. You just do it if it works for you, just something to think about. All right. Where are we now? Where are we now? Who could it be now? Asto unavailable. Thank you. The official Uncanny remake, Lifer. I appreciate you for your struggles you shared with us. Every day is a battle. It really is. And that's why I really want you all back in tow together when the time is right. You know, when I'm back at the home studio, let's have an amazing, amazing live stream. Okay. So we looked at Larry. We nailed that. We got through that. We got through so many super chats. I appreciate them. Thank you so much for the, I guess, the $3 in chat revenue. I thought I got more than that. Maybe this was the old stream. People were giving back. Yeah, we had some on the ledger already together, about, I don't know, 10 or 12 bucks, something like that. Thank you so much for the love. So we're going to watch this flag here. All right, we talked about CFX. We started about some other coins that could be getting a move up too as well, like things that are around Hex. You know, so we'll see. Hex is doing what? Pulse Chain is coming out, which is changing the world, and the BRC20 tokens, which is very interesting, which we can go to brc20.io, right? And we can look at these things and see like what value they are. When did they first come out? Pretty sure brc20.io was working for me recently. Maybe they changed it. Let's see what it was. It was like .stat. There we go. I didn't put like a hyphen in there. So this market cap was $1 billion. It went back down to $500 million. So it's just something to think about, right? But remember, we got into this at like 3 cents. It's now at 15. It's holding a 5x pretty nicely, VMPX. And this thing could continue to do damage. They did sell off PEPE, the first PEPE, but the BRC20 right there, which is B20, is 350. This is the coin I'm talking about. I could see this coin make some serious gains with a $73 million market cap. This thing depends on the exchanges, on the ordinals, on its driving. And if that keeps going, that's going to continue to move. So I would watch B20 closely. Definitely something you want to do your own research on and kind of begin to build a bag. But we're going to be able to show you things that no one else can show you here on the live stream. So remember, stay tuned for more as we continue to push forward at the speed of light. I love pushing myself. You love pushing yourselves. We're going to keep pushing until we break, until we get to that next level and we make it happen. All right. So again, you guys made me feel good about my Bob buy. We'll see what happens to that Bob meme. You know, memes aren't everything, but they're funny every once in a while. And look, they got one called Maxi, bruh, cake. So funny. So many little coins with tiny, 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 tiny market caps. All right. Limp per mint was $1. You know, one, you can only mint one. That's kind of like, wish you could mint so much more than that. Right. Can we look at Larry Lifer? We got that. Blah, blah, blah. What are your thoughts on Mrs. Pepe? Never heard about it, and I'm not really going to talk about it. You know, I may just show it here in CoinMarketCap, but like, you may be trying to shill a bag right now, and you'll just, you're innocently asking me, but, you know, you're indirectly attempting to get me to shill. And I don't like to shill stuff randomly out of nowhere. You know, if you really want me to talk about something, DM me on Twitter. I'll give you my honest feel about it, you know, and then we can go from there. Let's take a look at Miss Pepe and see if it has any, what does it do? Like, does it have a use case? Is it a meme? Probably just a meme with no use case at all. Yeah. Oh, it does have an NFT collection at least, which, you know, coming soon though, Miss Pepe. Buy on Uniswap with a card, top 100 holders. All right. And I could, yeah, that's interesting. I mean, total supply we sent to the liquidity pool, right? And it says like, this doesn't do anything. Oh, tax, just how Papa likes it. That's funny. But, yeah, I'd be wary of these coins. Be very, very wary of them. And what you can do is you can go to Token Sniffer. And what we did is we just grabbed that contract address on the low. You see that? And so we go to Token Sniffer and we take a look. And we're going to paste that contract address into Token Sniffer. We're going to see what it gives us. We're going to see if we get, you know. And again, see, always learning right now. Even if you rewatch this later on tonight, you're going to learn. You're going to learn. Wow, so they got nothing on this coin. Couldn't even really find it. Miss Pepe. Let's just double check one more time that we're doing something right. But it does look like an ETH address with the 0x, the way it's situated. Interesting. All right, and I'm going to see if there is any news. I'm not sure if there will be, right? I didn't double check, but we'll see right now immediately. See what the news may or may not be. All right. And have no fear. I'm like, if we have news, we do. If we don't, we don't. Today will be a different kind of day. Did a bunch of live streaming this time, right? Was able to show yourself. Found the person that I really wanted to find, which is VIVEK, right? And then got to know him. That was a blessing for me personally. Really, really excited to see that. And also kind of gave me the heebie-jeebies. Like, I finally met someone who's running for president. actually has the bankroll, actually has the money, and can actually make a change. And he sounded innovative, young. Like that's what we need. Like we don't need these old 70-year-olds in the market anymore. We need a big change. We need a big change. And I believe this is the big change that's coming. And I'm excited to see it. You should be excited to see it. And we're all very excited to see it. So will they live up to their promises is the question. That's the one last thing that I kind of, will they live up to their promises? There's no guarantees. They say they talk a good talk, but a lot of politicians talk a good talk. And I'm not saying this is Vivek. I'm just giving him the respect to criticize him in the open-mindedness that I would criticize anybody else, right? Miners looking at the OG PEPE cryptocurrency, GPU miners. That's interesting. High of the 83 with a low of 79, cloudy skies with the opportunity in the air. The news. Yeah. And I actually forgot what I was doing there. Forgot what I was doing. Almost forgot what I was thinking. Yeah, so no news came out, but there might be some other news here that I can get for you here. Let me take a look. I'm going to go to my Epic place for news. All right. And we're going to give you some news real quick to show you what's happening on this Saturday. And again, we never really tend to get a pump on Bitcoin Miami. Like you always think you're going to, but just never really flows that way.
All right, let's jump into it. So I've written a few articles about how the banking system in the U.S. and
so they had Arthur Hayes. Well, they had Arthur Hayes and new monetary order at Bitcoin. It's funny, he was like on the run for a while. I didn't think he could just like do whatever he wanted. It's so weird. You read the stuff, and then okay, so here's the deal. We have hyperinflation, but what about hyper-Bitcoinization is underway? RFK seeks Bitcoin donations and other news. Holders digest May through 40 through the 20th. So FTX pursues $244 million clawback from wildly inflated embedded acquisition deal. Yeah, their leadership is looking to claw back more than $240 million from insiders and executives that benefited from FTX wildly inflated acquisition of stock clearing platform Embed in September. RFK Jr. to accept campaign donations in Bitcoin. So is Vivek too. So you got two people on both sides of the side, which is really, really cool. That's also interesting to see. All right. Justin Sun in the mix too, right? Wants to revitalize Huobi and Poloniex with meme coins. In this episode, he talks through Huobi's and Poloniex procedures for listing new meme coins and argues that Binance's high listing standards offers opportunities for smaller exchanges. So you see him back in the game. I thought he was subpoenaed. He seems to be fine too. It's like these people get a slap on the wrist, and I'm not saying I want them to be subpoenaed. I'm happy that they're out doing their thing, but it's just interesting. Crypto browser operates integrated layer 1 blockchain, Multiverse X. Users will be able to interact with Multiverse X network through its native tokens, NFTs, and decentralized applications. And that's all Elrond. They rebranded as Multiverse X. Formerly known as Elrond, is teaming up with crypto browser Opera to integrate support for its growing ecosystem. Opera users can explore the decentralized internet with Multiverse X network. Benjamin Minsu, CEO of Multiverse X, told the CoinDesk that integrating the network into Opera gives users a more accessible path. Pretty cool. Pretty interesting. And yeah, that kind of like tightens us up with the news, right? And shows us kind of like some things that we want to think about that might kind of change the way we look at the world. So this is interesting. The world's largest Bitcoin conference will take place in Nashville for 2024. Bitcoin conference will be headed to the Music City next year as it brings together Bitcoiners from around the world. The Bitcoin conference, the world's largest and most prestigious gathering of Bitcoin industry, is set to take place in Nashville from July 25th to the 22nd in 2024. So after the halving, we're going to be in Nashville. So you're going to catch me down in Nashville. I'm going to eat some food there, show you what goes on. I'm already excited. I'm already getting ready to be in Nashville for Bitcoin 2024. I mean, that's exciting. And that's been announced already. They're kind of ready to go. So Nashville. Big Short, Michael Lewis on the financial crisis, FTX. He was there. We had all sorts of people, a lot of amazing talkers. Tulsi Gabbard was there today too, as well. I didn't get to see her speech. I saw it from a bigger screen while I was in another part of the conference, but I did see her rip it up and do her thing, which was nice. We had governors there. We really demanded a lot of attention here. Brink announced his $1 million donation matching campaign for Marathon Digital holders for Bitcoin development. That's a big deal too as well. So a lot of news coming our way, even though it is a Saturday. Things are kind of, moving on up. I'm watching this flag here for AGIX. If you can stay sideways, hit that 21-day moving average, there's a chance AGIX can pump back to about 39. Let's get back to Bitcoin one more time as we bring you the Bitcoin ideas and what's happening in the space. So at the end of the day, we're spot on with this target in this idea, or with this basically this symmetrical triangle idea. And we're getting a bit of a bounce back above 24,000. 4 hours attempting to get that pump. And again, it's all about this 1 hour time frame that we're watching and seeing if it can boost to the upside. So far, the stochastics did break out in my mind, and we could get a move to the upside. Big areas to watch for Bitcoin is if we get the pump, we're likely to just get rejected by the top of the channel at 27,350, then come back down. But as I said before, and I will say again, a big move is coming for Bitcoin. Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday at the absolute latest. I see probably even earlier than that. I'd say like literally somewhere on Tuesday morning. I don't see how we could last much longer. What we can do is we can grab this ruler, just put it on right here, and then drag it over and see if we spin off into some tighter zone. I mean, we're looking at 3 days in 1 hour. So that's Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. But like now would be from here, one day would be 7 p.m. Sunday, 7 p.m. So you're looking 7 p.m. Tuesday. A big move has to be coming for Bitcoin. This is the symmetrical triangle. If we break up, we have a beautiful target all the way back up at 29,764. If we break down, we have an ugly target back at 24,784. Both are great though. One's a good accumulation zone, right? And one is just a great place to do a swing long. So I like both opportunities, and I'm open-minded to both. And that's the key about life. Having being open-minded to the opportunity, understanding that that's the idea, that's the case, right? I was like, can I push the stream all the way to 8 o'clock? I don't think I can. It'd be too much, but I would love to. One last thing, crypto biz, Tether flees from banks, Ledger's backdoor for seed phrases, and more. Court victory for Ripple and the collapse of the FTX crypto exchange. He probably gets better at writing his books as he continues, getting that data, bringing it all in. But yeah, there you go, man. Michael Gladstein, conversation with the chairman of Real at Bitcoin Conference. Yeah, but this wrote Gladstein. It's not Michael Lewis. Yeah, he got the wrong person there in the tweet. I was about to say that doesn't make any sense. But man, what a time it was to be alive today in Bitcoin Miami with everyone here really hanging out. And I'm telling you, this crypto crew is like a family. Everybody's together. Everybody's hanging out, doing their thing. Bitcoin price prediction ahead of key week for the markets. And we gave you our price prediction and our ideas. One last thing I'll look at for you is I want to show it beforehand. But look, the CME gap brings us all the way back down on the daily time frame to this area here at 20,720. And now it really starts at about 20,000, 21,000, but it's between 21,000 and 28,400. It's a pretty big gap. So that means we could see 20,008, 20,400 and close that gap. We'd have to leave this bearishly retested it, which we kind of tried to do. But so far, the bigger time frame suggests that we're okay. The 21 and the 200 are getting far apart, but if they can kind of go sideways, if we can go up and down, up and down, up and down, and slowly bring the moving averages in tight, bounce off to 24, 25,000. If I had to make a guess, I'd say that we pop to the top of the channel in that 4 hour that I showed you. We pop down here, we probably come back down, we go sideways, and then a bigger move comes for Bitcoin. That would be my Sammy cup and handy that I've been talking about too as well, my massive Sammy cup and handy here, right? Let me show you what I mean. And, and we projected this a while back. And so far, the projection is starting to pan out. We would bounce off previous resistances right there at 20,000, 24,008, even on a wick. We probably get even lower to scare people. And that could be a really good load up zone. You can see there's a lot of liquidity right here. And so we come into the zone, we get loaded up, and then we're able to blast further to the upside. So I'd look for this to get a move. Right. And again, I keep talking about the first measure move is just the length of this pole, but there's even a bigger measure move if it does cup and handle its way to the upside. But let's just start at 38,800 and go from there. But this is possible, and it may take a little while. It may be until like end of June into July when we start to see this begin to move to the upside. So I do see some sideways price action for Bitcoin for the next month possibly until we really get a bigger handle on the market. But we also need more money to come in. Money likes to take a breather May into June. So I'm live for twice this weekend. What a beautiful human being, always vibrating positive. Hey, man, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. So cool to see people that have seen me. Hit gains from it overnight. Yeah, tied up to Simpson. We've been trading Simpson on and off. Let's just take a look at that. Homer USDT. Still upset I didn't buy that coin because I got into it super early. Homer coin right here. Simpson, Homer. Yeah, let's take a look at it. Let's see what happened here. It got a nice pump off of a 618 level. Let's see. Let me go to a smaller time frame so we can see what I was drawing here. So I talked about a bounce here at the 618. We got that. Let's take a look. I like this consolidation. This is like really nice consolidation. It's like kind of almost bull flagging. Following Bitcoin in a sideways manner too. 3 hour is high. Suggested it may come down one more time before it can get a bigger move. But I would watch this. The last time we called a move on this, we got a nice move. So I'm not saying it's guaranteed. Nothing's guaranteed in trading, and I'm not a financial advisor, but possibly 185% gains coming out of Homer. Bit of a double bottom there too. Somewhat of a cup and handle. This comes back down. I mean, that's your cup and handle, right? We take our Fibonacci and we draw it there, and we're looking at a bounce off the 618 fib coming back in, and then the cup and handle could make a blast to the upside. We'd stay inside these channels. Everything would come to fruition. Wow. That tells me that Simpson may even make some bigger gains. It's consolidating right now as we speak. We'll watch the 3 hour time frame, let it cool off, and then we can go from there. So everyone, I don't know how or why, but you know how or why? We prayed to God, didn't we? You saw me pray to God. You don't think it's uncannily weird how the internet just starts working? And I say, hey, I'm going to preach God's name the whole time we do this. And lo and behold, we get the move that we're asking for. So watching Simpson closely. Also watch the elites, as this is my last night to meet and greet as many people as humanly possible and grow the channel, grow the trading group. More people I find too, the more hungry people will find that can help others, and then my legacy can be fulfilled. So I wish I was just in the charts all day long, and I never, you know, and that's how it's usually been. I get a funny feeling waiting. All right. Okay, life is streaming messing up, or is it me? No, it should be fine now, honestly. I believe it's you, because I can actually check the live stream right now on my phone, and if it's playing on my phone, then we're good to go. Man, Rob's a good dude, man. Oh, no worries, man. We're back live again, though. All right, so I'm gonna just check the live. Then a couple other things that I want to discuss, and then we're gonna bounce out for the day. 7:25, not that far away from my 8 p.m. idea here, right? 153 people watching. Let's take a look here. If I on this phone does funny things. Like you see the video there and you click on it, but oh, okay, it's almost like a highlight reel there. Now I'll get copyright for that, even though it's part of it's like the video that goes before it, right? So interesting. Funny Bread Financial running ads on my live stream, right? Wow, running 2 ads in a row, man. Waiting just for my phone. I gotta have the Brave browser on my phone. You would have no ads at all. Running ads on my live stream, right? Live stream looks absolutely wonderful. Honestly, that's absolutely crazy.